Alright guys, M-Tech Guy here, and today we're going to be taking a look at freshening up the exterior of the E46 M-Tech one. Now, although the car's in fantastic condition, it's not going to take much, but there's one thing that's really letting the side down, and that's the number plates on this thing. So as you can see, although on the exterior the car's in fantastic condition, the number plates are all UV faded, and this car has the Euro style plates, the wide ones, got the BMW logo on this side, and the New Zealand flag, the Southern Cross on this side. That should have a blue backing, but the New Zealand sun's just done its thing over time and hammered it, so it's looking pretty rubbish. Now these plates have been on the car for a long time, about 20 years, so I was in two minds whether to actually change them out or not. It's quite cool that it is a piece of history with the car, but these are really letting the side down. It's really detracting from the rest of the condition of the car, so I want to get these changed out today. Now here in New Zealand, it's not as easy as just going down to your local motor factor. Like in the UK, I would have just popped down to Halfords and had the plates remade. Nice fresh new ones ready to go on the car. But over here, there's a bit more to it than that. You have to go through the Land Transport Agency. You can get your plates remade, but then you have to surrender your old ones, so you can't have two sets of plates that exist. So you get the new ones remade, you send your old ones back and they'll destroy them. And there are different styles of plates. You can get the normal Kiwi size plates that I have on the M5. You can get the Euro style plates, the wide ones, like on this car. They're more or less the same size as the ones I'd see in the UK. You can now get black plates with silver lettering, and you can also get some small narrow little ones too. But I've opted to stick with the Euro style ones on this car because it's got the apertures for the Euro style ones. It's a New Zealand new car. If it was a Japanese import, the apertures for the number plates would have been a bit smaller, just like on my M5. So we're going to take full advantage of that. We're going to get the proper size plates on here, and obviously with it being a Euro car, it just suits the car anyhow, and it's what would have been fitted when the car was new and first registered over here. So let's take a look at the new plates. Now, if I put it up against the old plate there, you can see there's some slight differences because unfortunately you can't get this exact style anymore. This is the closest one that they had to it. As you can see, we've got the blue backing on the BMW logo there rather than the grey, and over this side, instead of the New Zealand flag Southern Cross, we've got a silver fern, and the words New Zealand there because of course ferns aren't available anywhere else in the world, just New Zealand apparently. And I do prefer the older style, but this one looks okay. It's close enough. It's the nearest one to the original, and I could have got this type in two different styles. Could have either had this one with the blue, or you could have had it with black backing on the BMW logo and the silver fern there. But the only problem with that was, especially over on this side, it just made it look like an All Blacks logo. Didn't like that, and originally this would have had a blue backing on that side, and it does kind of tie in with the BMW Roundo logos on the front and the rear of the car, and the wheels too. So this is what we're going to be installing on the car today, just to freshen things up a bit. Alright, let's take a look at how we're going to drill this out and get it installed onto the vehicle. So first things first, we'll get the old plates removed, but before I remove this rear one, because it's sitting down a little bit on this right hand side, what I'm going to do is just take a wee measurement, and then when we re-drill the new plates, we can overcompensate for that with the position of the hole, and we can get it sitting nice and level. I'll take the measurement right where the holes are drilled for the screws. Have a look at that one, got 26mm. Look over this side, got 28. So there's 2mm difference there, so this side needs to come up 2mm to make it nice and correct and level. So when I mark the holes for the new plate, I'm gonna have to make sure that this hole's sitting down 2mm, and then that will lift the plate on this side. So as you can see, it's looking pretty dirty behind where that plate was sitting, so we're going to give that a good clean up just to tidy it up before we refit the new plate. Bit of quick detailer. That's looking much better. So we've got the old plate here off the rear of the car, and then we've got our shiny new one here, so you can see there's a slight variation between the two. Obviously this one's looking pretty faded, this one's looking nice and fresh and new. But the biggest thing that stands out to me is the font. I think I prefer the old style, so it's a shame that they've stopped doing them in this style. The lettering certainly looks more chunky on the newer style, and I think because these two images either side are a little bit wider, it's going to give the car a much more squashed look at the rear. Rather, this would have made it look sort of low and wide, but there's not much we can do about that. This is the new style that the Land Transport Agency is supplying now, so it is what it is, and it's going to look much better than this faded old one. So we need to get this one drilled out, ready to install it. So we're going to line up just about where the holes are, and we're going to put some painter's tape across the front edge here, and then we can mark the position of the holes we're going to drill. Now this tape's going to have more than one benefit other than just being able to mark the position of the holes. When we overlay this one on the top, it's going to stop this from getting all scratched up. They're made out of aluminium and the underside is pretty sharp. It's got some sharp edges. And also it's going to stop the paint from chipping, and if the drill bit was to slip, it's not going to sort of swirl across the new paint finish there on the new plates. That's sitting nice and flush around the edges. So I'm going to take a marker and I'm going to aim for dead in the centre of them holes. There we go, spot on. And if we take a measurement of the plates here, from the top edge to the centre of the hole, this one's 55mm, this one is 53mm. So as we worked out previously, when the old plate was fixed to the car, we need to position the new hole 2mm further down, and then that'll correct that right hand side sitting down to nice and level. So we've got 55mm there, and just going to remark that one on the same plane. There we go. So the size of the holes in the old plates were 5mm diameter, so we're going to replicate that one onto the new plate. But before I go pushing a 5mm drill bit right the way through here, what I'd normally like to do whenever I'm drilling metal is just centre punch the centre mark for the hole there. Just so, especially if you're using a bigger drill bit, there's always the chance once it's spinning it can start to skid across the steel and move around. So I want to keep that dead centre on them marks. Now, I'm not going to use a centre punch on these because it's just thin aluminium, so if I do go punching that, it's going to leave a dimple shaped like a bit of a crater in this steel. I don't want to bend it, so we're going to drill a very small pilot hole first. It's going to keep it nice and centred, and then we can go through with the 5mm drill bit. We'll carefully start it off with that 2mm drill bit. And this one's a bit tricky because it's right on the edge of the embossed 6, so we don't want it to skid one way or the other, so we're going to have to go super careful with this one to get it dead in that centre line there. Now we can go through with the 5mm drill bit. Just check that again against the old one. Spot on, and that one's spot on but sitting down 2mm. I will remove the painter's tape. And you can see as with any hole you make through metal, especially on aluminium, you can see we've got these bares on the back edge there. Bit of a rough finish, so what we're going to do is debar them. Now you don't necessarily have to have a debarring tool, and it is quite tricky on a small hole like a 5mm. So what we're going to do, just a wee trick here, going to take a much larger drill bit, got 8mm here, probably could do with a bigger one, but this will do, and we're just going to turn that by hand, and that's just going to knock them bares off there, put a tiny little chamfer on it, make it nice and smooth. It's better. So now we'll install the new plate on the rear of the car here, and I've got some new plated screws to fit these with also. And if you take a look on the edge there, you can see there's a wee notch, and that'll allow that plastic cap just to clip on. It's not going to fall off anytime soon. I've got some new plastic caps to go on here. There's a white one on that side. Now, what we're going to do here, because it's half and half, black and white. So what's going to look the best? So white's going to cut into that number a wee bit. And the black one, I think we might go black one. It sort of blends in better than the white, cutting into that number there. There we go. Now that's looking much better, and it's also sitting nice and level there. Perfect. There's nothing worse than seeing a number plate just skewed a wee bit, especially if you're the car behind looking at it. It looks awful, and that is a vast improvement, especially with them blue colours and the logo there. Much better. Right, let's repeat the whole process on the front of the car. Now moving round to the front, this one's held at each corner at the top there, and it does have that curve, so hopefully we don't have to bend the plate too much physically. It might just be enough that the screws will pull it into its form there. Just got to watch we don't misplace these holes where it's bulging out in the middle there. So let's get this removed. We'll get the new one drilled, and we'll get the new one fitted to the car. Right, now this hole had a much larger screw than a regular style number plate screw, which was on this side, as you can see, and I don't really want to reuse this much wider one, so to be able to use a regular style number plate screw, it's not going to bite in there enough. I think rather than reuse that hole, what we'll do is just use these ones here. That one's had a screw in it before, this one hasn't. That's weird, but I think that'll be enough to hold it back there. That should be spot on actually. If we measure in from each edge, we've got 54. Same on that side, 54, 15 mil down, 15 mil, and the centre line of the bolt holes here, 410. So I've already got my tape installed here, so we'll first mark the centre line. .520, so we'll go 260, and the bolt holes were 410 apart, so we're going to make that 205 from the center line to each drill point. Just double check that. So there we go, 410, and we're 15 mil down from the top edge. So no matter what these outer edges end up, at least we've got the holes centered on the center line of the plate now. Right, let's drill some holes. And with the two holes now drilled, let's go and fit it to the car. Yeah, that fits all right. It's got the nice curve to it there, nice and secure. Now the only issue we've run into here is that the screws are positioned over the blue portion, and you can only get these caps in black or white. So the white ones do stand out quite a bit there. The black one blends in a bit better. I think I probably would prefer 2 black ones, but the only problem with that is I've only got 1 black one and 2 white ones. I neglected to get another one. I just thought I'd need some black ones to maybe cover the odd number there, so it didn't get enough. So we'll pop the white ones on for now, just to stop the weather getting to these screw heads. And I think what I'll do in the future is pick up another black one, and that'll blend in a bit nicer, but that'll do for now. Looks all right. So now we have to return the old plates because, like I said before, 2 sets of these plates aren't allowed to exist in New Zealand. So they're giving me a free post bag here. There's only one problem with this. It's for a Kiwi size plate, not Euro plates. It's fine, we will make it work. So that's pretty much the exterior of the E46 MTech 1. Looking pretty sharp now. There's nothing that's letting it down. It's looking in incredibly good shape for its age. So overall, that finishes it off nicely. Let's take a look at the overall effect. Alright guys, so there we have it. Now that's freshened up the exterior of the E46 MTech 1 nicely. I'm really happy with how that turned out. It's looking very sharp now. Now if you found the video interesting or useful, don't forget to give it a like, and make sure you go and check out the rest of my YouTube channel for more BMW DIY content. Consider subscribing if that's your cup of tea. I'm MTech Guy. Thanks a lot for watching.